Here's what's next on the Nice Guys on Business.
There's a 98% read rate on text messages within 5 minutes or less. So I know when I send 50 people a text message, 50 people are going to see that text message and they don't have an excuse. Now, if I say, hey, Doug, run a mile for time and text back your time, the next day you can't say, oh, man, I didn't see it.
No.
So now I really kind of debunked all these excuses my clients were giving me by texting them.
The first rule of Fight Club is do not talk about Fight Club or the Nice Guys on Business. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Hey, Nice Guy community, welcome back, welcome back. My name is Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler.
I told you that that having my brother on the show was going to be fun, didn't I?
That was entertaining. Definitely entertaining. Doug,
the whole lost love story, everything. It's all good. It's all good stuff.
We have our sponsor today.
It's amazing. They've come back again.
Interview Valet, yes.
So Interview Valet, Tom Schwab and his gang over at Interview Valet, if you have ever thought about marketing your products or services by going on podcasts, or if you don't think that that is the way to go, you should really listen to this because Tom and his gang basically do everything for you. They set up the interview, they prepare you for the interview, they vet you with the interview host so that you make sure that it's the proper show for you and you are the proper guest for them. And they do it all. And all you really have to do is show up and be you, which is so very cool with Interview Valet.
It is the best. And the people that Tom and his team send to us, they are prepared. They know what they're doing. If you've never thought about actually going on to a podcast to be interviewed, if you have a small business, you need to, because it's the best way to become an expert in your field and have the general public know who you are and get the word out.
Completely free marketing. Podcast guests need people like you. They need people. They basically need guests. I mean, we love when we have a guest that's knowledgeable and thorough and on time and knows their shit. I mean, when you know your shit, you're a good guest. And I know that if you're listening to this show, the Nice Guys on Business podcast, you know your shit.
That's it, exactly. So why don't we get to why don't we do the promise statement? Because I don't think we did that yesterday.
That would be good. Why don't you just go ahead and do that?
Because you don't have it in front of you and don't know where it is.
No.
To provide a learning experience that is entertaining and adds value to your life. Period.
I keep saying, I have all of this blank wall space in my office, quote unquote, my studio. I should really just put a copy of the promise statement up on my wall.
That'd be a great idea. You should totally do that.
Like step and repeat wallpaper.
Yeah, there you go.
Something like that. You like that? You like that? So who's on the show today? David Pitts?
David Pitts. Yeah. He's like a trainer, right? But he's not just a personal trainer. It really is about the business behind doing personal training. And he has a lot of great tips that will apply really to any business that is trying to grow. And he's got free stuff to give away. He
does. And he's a really good coffee drinker too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It seems like David and I have connected on Facebook, and every time that we are communicating back and forth, he's usually at a coffee shop somewhere. His hands are shaking. He's a big shaky guy.
Offdaytrainer.com is his website, and the interview is really interesting, talking about how he built his business and how he learned what works and what doesn't work. And again, it's not just about personal training. I mean, personal training obviously is the one-on-one. You've got to make that connection with your customer, but that applies to any business.
Well, and it gets down to the tactics and the strategies that he uses, and he does a lot with automated marketing through text messaging, and it's amazing some of the stats that he throws at us. Do you know that and I'll mess up the stats here, and David will correct them on the show, but something like your engagement rate when you send a text message versus when you send an email message versus when you just send out put a post up online. Mm-hmm. Something like 90+% of the people that you send a text message to read that text message.
Well, and they read it within 5 minutes of you sending it. And that's what's so interesting about it.
So check this out, this interview today with David Pitts, all about automated marketing, offdaytrader.com. We'll make sure we put information and links in the show notes as well. So let's get to our interview, unless you got something else to add here, Strick.
No, man, let's get on to it. David Pitts.
So today's guest, I'm thinking, is a Strickland intervention. Nice Guy community. If you have never listened to the show, Strick is the co-host of the show. I know I need to get more activity and exercise in my life. So our guest today, David Pitts, is here to share his message not only about health and fitness, but how he can show you how to scale your business, grow your brand, make money, and do all things good with your business. So welcome, David Pitts, to the Nice Guys on Business podcast.
Yes, sir. Doug, thank you so much for having me. It is an honor, my friend.
I appreciate you being here. And, I OD'd over the last week since I knew you were coming on the show, because I'm looking at your Twitter following and I'm looking at your social shares and everything that you do. And dude, you're a busy guy. You seem to be, you're everywhere. How do you get everywhere? Because I think of all the things that people want to know is, how do you expose your message to a mass market and still have time to do all the important things in your life, like business development, marketing, all that other stuff. So can you explain that, starting there? Because you are a pretty huge social guy.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, you have to have systems. You have to have systems in place that are going to allow you to scale. And as much as you can automate some of these systems, the better, because then it's going to allow you to really focus on some of the things that you do best and that you enjoy doing most, so that you can be most productive and beneficial. And also, I have a great team. I know everyone doesn't have a luxury of having a great team, but I happen to have that. I'm incredibly fortunate for that. I appreciate that. And yeah, man, we rock and roll. We definitely we're well aware of a lot of everything we have going on. We review our primary priorities for each and every week, each and every day, and we get after it, man.
So as a business owner, just help me for a moment, because we have a lot of people in our audience that are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and they might think, hey, I'm trying to figure out a way to scale my business, and you gave me some impressive numbers. So maybe just share, and this is not so the Nice Guy community, just so as you're listening, this is not so David can puff the muscle of his business. It's just so you can see. We'll talk about where he came from, but this is where he is right now. So share with me some of those impressive stats that you had with your staff, because I think this is pretty cool.
Sure. So we have 43 full-time employees here in San Luis Obispo. We have a team of about 30 employees who are part-time employees, most of whom work part-time, and they're also going to school part-time or full-time here at the local college, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And within our network, we have over 7 million mobile subscribers. We send over 1 million text messages per month. For those who are unaware, we really specialize in text message marketing.
Okay, so help me there. So what is the market that you're in? Because the listeners, the Nice Guy community, listening to the conversation today, they don't even know necessarily what you do. So can you share your story a little bit?
Yeah, so my story, and let me back up a second. So I work for a company called SMS Masterminds, and here at SMS Masterminds, we have different divisions of our company where a lot of us are working on different projects. And my product that I'm running here is the Off-Day Trainer platform. So my background is not technology and it's not software. My background is actually health and fitness.
Right.
And I got into it, I got certified back in 2002 when I was playing football in college and I was trying to look for a part-time job to make some money, and I got certified and I started training clients in college, and I really enjoyed that. But when my NFL career didn't really pan out as I hoped it would, I found myself back home looking for a job and really an identity, because, from 9 years old to 22 or whatever I was at that time, I was a football player, and there was nothing else to me. That was who I was. So now here I am, like, holy crap, what the hell am I going to do with the rest of my life? And so I moved home to figure that out, and I just so happened to take a job at a local health club, and that just really evolved. I quickly drank the Kool-Aid in the sense I really learned that I actually enjoy helping people as much as I enjoyed working out. I learned that I was pretty rare in the sense that I actually enjoyed exercise and that stuff, and I thought everybody did. I quickly learned that most people do not, but I also learned that when you can help somebody achieve things that they don't think they're capable of, it's really a powerful thing, and I obsessed over that. So anyways, I I stumbled upon a career in the health and wellness space. I ended up managing a team of 20 trainers for about 8 years. And then I opened my own studio. I was raw to a lot of business best practices, so I learned a lot there. I thought because I was successful in the big box gym that I would be successful on my own, and initially I wasn't, and that was really a blessing in disguise because I learned a lot. There was a lot of growing pains there, and ultimately I turned that business around. And what I learned, and I won't get too in depth with this, but I learned that every one of my clients did what they were supposed to when they were with me at the gym, but not every one of them did what they were supposed to when I wasn't around.
Right.
And obviously that affected their results. And of course, if they weren't successful, I felt like I was a crappy trainer. So I would take it personal, and I would obsess over why certain people could experience tremendous transformations and others couldn't lose 10 pounds for the life of them. And what I learned was it was really more about influencing my client behavior outside of the session.
Right.
And the lesson here, I think, for any business or any of your listeners is really just catering to that customer relationship. And depending on your business model, I think the customer experience is one of the most vital components to your business success.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me just interrupt you for 1 second.
Sure.
I'd love you to repeat that, because I think what's so critical in all the things that you said, and I can see where you're going with your growth, and I love how this business is taking shape. But the fact that the customer experience, you're talking about the fitness industry. I'm talking about the podcasting world, or selling heating and cooling systems, or computer systems, or automobiles. It is all about that customer experience. So I love that. Can you I want you to spend just a moment sharing that, because I think that's so critical in any business that you're dealing with. It has nothing to do with any business specifically.
That's right, man. And I don't know how many debates I've been in this fitness world where I will argue till I'm blue in the face that the experience is the one thing that is more important than results. And I don't think this only applies to the fitness world. I think this applies to any business, because sure, our clients or our customers pay us for the results, but oftentimes I found myself in my own business wanting my client results more than they wanted it for themselves. Right. And I would tell this, man, I can't want this for you guys. I can't do this for you. And a lot of my clients would be like, I don't care. I'm cool. This is cool with me, because these are people that hated working out before. Right. And if they could come to the gym 2 or 3 times a week and actually enjoy the experience, they would stay with me forever. And a lot of them did. Right. And I couldn't fathom that for a long time, because I was so obsessed with the results. And then it's like, you know what? Let me take a step back and look at what's happening here. And it took me hundreds of clients and years of experience to realize this, but it was really about that, because oftentimes you have clients who experience tremendous results and they leave 6 months later because they figure out they can do it on their own, they've learned, or whatever it might be. But when you deliver a world-class experience in any business model, those are the customers that you're going to keep for life. They're the customers that are going to spend more with you. They're the customers that are going to refer you to their friends and family, because now you've developed a relationship with them.
And it's all about it. It's funny that you say that, because when, I know this is going to sound ridiculous, because I know that you're in the fitness world, and this may not necessarily be, I mean, the franchise definitely has some place in the market. But my mom, she's been going to Curves for the last I don't know, 10 years. Now, my mom is on a constant diet, but she does not go there. She's 83 years old. Oh, geez, I just told her age. She hates when I tell her age on the pod. David, we'll erase that part. But my mom, she goes to this place, and she doesn't go to work out. She goes because she likes the ladies there, and she does use the equipment. But the ladies are not focused. The ladies are so focused on building the relationship that they are just trying to make this experience an amazing experience for my mom. Very similar to what you're talking about. You want the results more than your clients do, because your clients don't necessarily care about being. I mean, I've seen pictures of you. You're pretty there, man. I'm 175 pounds soaking wet at 6'4". I'm a string bee, and I don't have any muscle on my body, but I would go to the gym because I thought I was just trying to work out. I would never be a big guy. So for me, if somebody that has the better intentions or bigger expectations as the trainer than I have as the customer, that doesn't fit either. It's almost like you can't overdo it with your customer. It's got to be a good experience. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off track there. No. It's just like, wow, even so many of the things you're saying are so on point. It's incredible. Okay, so let's get back to your business. Sorry. And so you started this business, or you started working in this opportunity here outside of the outside necessarily of football, and you started to be a trainer, and you started to develop the experience. So take it from there for me.
Yeah, so I thought for a very short period of time, I thought I was the world's best trainer, because I learned that it was if I focus more outside of the session than I did in the session, that it would make me unique, and I learned that every one of my clients did what they were supposed to when they were with me, but not everyone experienced crazy success. So I said, maybe if I could influence their behavior when I'm not around, their results will follow. And that was true. So I started obsessing over connecting with my clients and engaging with them outside of the session. Right. And by doing so, I quickly became known as the results guy in my area. And everybody was wondering what the heck I was doing, thinking I had figured out some secret diet or was doing some crazy workout routines that with exercises nobody had ever heard of. But that wasn't the case. I was literally just doing what nobody else in the industry was doing, which is focusing more on my clients outside of the session than during the session. You know, everyone in my industry is obsessed over the next best meal plan or diet or the next best workout routine and different methodologies and what works better. And for me, I just stepped back and I was like, look, you know what? I'd be stoked if my clients just went for a walk every day they weren't with me. You know, I just want them to not eat like crap, and I want them to find a way to move, because most of them do not. They focus on the 2 or 3 times they're with me a week, and then outside of that, they're kind of checked out. So if I could remind them of their goals and why their goals are important to them, and just really dive into their motive for action, right? Why did they invest in me in the first place? And if I can keep that top of mind, I'm going to influence their behavior.
Okay, so
I started doing this. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, yeah, I think you're about to head there. So how do you take something like that when you have 10 or 20 or 30 clients and you make it scalable so that you can actually make?
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens? Man. What happens next?
So that's exactly it. So the problem was my solution wasn't scalable initially. So I was emailing clients. I created private groups on Facebook. I was texting them, and text was the most effective way for me to do this, to accomplish this, because people were saying, oh, they don't ever check my email, or they don't see it in time, or they're not on Facebook, or they don't see my posts, or whatever, right? They had an excuse as to why they couldn't do what I wanted them to do.
Right.
But when I sent them a text, they had no excuse, because the text is sent and it's read immediately. I mean, there's a 98% read rate on text messages within 5 minutes or
crazy
less. So I know when I send 50 people a text message, 50 people are going to see that text message, and they don't have an excuse. Now, if I say, hey, Doug, run a mile for time, and text back your time, the next day you can't say, oh man, I didn't see your time.
No.
Didn't do it, right? So now I really kind of debunked all these excuses my clients were giving me by texting them. So really, I just started texting my clients like crazy. And I would tell you, if on day one, if you're going to sign up with me, I would say, look, man, you're paying me to help you achieve a goal. I'm going to text you like crazy whether you like it or not, because my job isn't to provide a killer workout for you. My job is to make sure you're successful and that you get the results you're paying me for. And I do that by ensuring that you stay disciplined when I'm not around. And being that you're somebody who's paying me money to help you achieve this goal, you're like, shoot, man, you're awesome. You actually care about my success. Like, I can get behind that. So this was happening. And the problem was it wasn't scalable, right? So I could engage, like you said, 10, maybe 20 people and text them every day if I wanted to. But what happened is I started training more clients, and I was making more money than ever, and business is good. But I started feeling like I was a crappier trainer than ever. The more people I was working with, the less I was really able to connect with them. So what had happened, just my story and the way my whole off-day trainer product came about, is one of my clients happened to be the CEO of a text messaging company. And I learned more about what he was doing with entrepreneurs around the country. He was selling a tech service to small businesses like restaurant owners and hair salons and whatever, right? And basically, if I go into your restaurant and I enter like your kiosk at the point of sale, and as like a digital rewards program, right? 10 check-ins and your 11th dinner is on us, or whatever it is. This is what they were selling. And then what could happen is you could send out a text to anyone in your program who's ever entered their number in the kiosk. So if you own a restaurant and it's Monday afternoon, you say, shoot, I want to send out this text for Monday Night Football. And you send out a text to thousands of people in the area and say, hey, if you're seeing this text message, it's because you're on our rewards program, you're a loyalty customer of ours, and you're going to get half off drafts for Monday Night Football. Come on in, show this text message to redeem your rewards. And now all of a sudden, all your customers are coming in to watch the game. So I learned that, and I go, shoot, man, that's exactly what I'm doing with my clients. I'm doing it manually. It's taking all my time and energy because I have so many clients now. I can't scale it. If you could help me text my clients, I know a lot of people who could benefit from a program like this. And he goes, oh, yeah, you're right. We could do that right now. And I learned more about how they were doing it. And I said, shoot, this probably isn't going to work because I can't just send a general text to hundreds of people. I need to be able to send a personalized text message so that I could really deliver and cater to that relationship. I can't just send, if it's automated and it's just general message, it's going to get old and annoying. But if it's personalized, it'll always stay relevant and it'll always remain valuable. So basically, we went ahead and built that. We've created the technology. We got a patent on it, and now we are the first text messaging platform that sends automated personalized text messages for your customers. And we initially launched within the fitness world, but we're also going to move into different verticals as well.
That is ridiculous. What an amazing success story. And I can see quite simply how scalable it is just based upon the numbers. I mean, you can't have 45 people or whatever full-time workers working for something that's not scalable. You're sending out a shit ton of text messages every day. How many, you said? That's right. 1 million text messages go out a month?
That's right.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And so because it's such a huge open rate to text messaging, I'm assuming you probably have a bigger close rate and a better experience because there's got to be some level of selling in some of those messages that goes out too. It's not just about the customer experience. Is that right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And what we do is we focus on who we're engaging, right? So we engage everyone from your leads that you've collected from Facebook or wherever you generate a lead from. We want to cater those relationships to get them to kind of know, like, and trust us enough to at least meet with us or pick up the phone and get on the phone with us, in which point we can sell them our services, right? And if we collect certain information prior to that call or prior to that meeting, it's going to drastically increase the chances of you converting that prospect into a paying customer. And then once you've converted that prospect into a paying customer, now the idea is to provide that level of service to that individual so they stay with you for life, right? So really we focus on how do we put more people in your business and then keep them forever so that they don't ever go to your competitor. And it's really about just the way you engage these people. It's about catering to that relationship. So just delivering valuable content, whether it's a lead or a client, send them stuff. If you're going to text them, especially your leads, if you're going to text a lead, the worst thing you can do is just say, hey, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff.
Puke product. Right? My dad used to call it puke product.
You literally have to get them to know, like, and trust you a little bit. So educate them, give them something entertaining, give them something inspiring, give them something that they're going to want to receive so that they don't just opt out of your text campaign. And then after you've educated them enough, after you've entertained them enough, after you've inspired them enough, now you shoot them a link to schedule a call. Or now you shoot them a link to sign up for your services or whatever it is, because you've already kind of fostered that relationship. And now you have a fan. And once you have a fan, you could sell them. Yeah, and they're going to stay with you forever.
Very true. Very true. Okay, so help me make it relatable to those that are listening, because we do have a lot of entrepreneurs, again, that are in our audience. Give me an action step, a little nugget that our listeners can put to use, maybe right now, maybe tomorrow, to change the direction and so that they can start seeing progress in doing something the right way. So can you share maybe something that would be, even if it's not the let's scale this thing tomorrow, can you give me an action step that they can use to be successful starting now?
Yes, 100%. So you don't necessarily have to invest in a text program for this, but my recommendation, the action step for your listeners today is collect every single one of your customers' phone numbers. And it's likely you have their phone number, so shoot them a text. It may be, if they're a longtime loyal customer, tell them how much you appreciate them, or send them something of value so that they're going to receive that text message and go, oh, shoot, that's awesome, Doug. Thanks. I'm glad you sent that. Right?
Yep. I wrote a blog. This is probably about almost maybe 2 years ago now for Huffington Post. It was called 24 Seconds That Will Change Your Life. And I talk about in this post one of the 5 steps in a program that I offer as a part of an online training program. I was giving away a freebie, and it was send out 2 text messages a day to people that are in your world, not about business, but just to tell them, hey, thinking about you, hope you're having a great day. And I'm an XOXO kind of guy, so just put that on the tail end if that's how you are. And I said, you're going to get 1 to 3 responses. You're going to get back a, who is this? And if you get the, who is this, that means you don't reach out enough. Or you're going to get a, is everything okay? And if you get that, it means you only talk to people when it's an emergency. But the home run, the one that really strikes gold, is the one where they say, hey, that's great. I appreciate you reaching out. Everything is great. I hope things are good with you too. And that's the guy that you could probably end up knowing will be a fan of what you're doing. So this 24, the text messaging thing, I never realized how big it really is until I started seeing services like now you have one for tell me about your business growth strategies program that you have, because I'd love to be able to share that link with our community as well.
Yeah, so it's the 3 things I focus on in that specific video are creating a brand for your business. If you have a brand for your business, you can kind of just make sure that some of the principles for creating that brand are spot on. So we go over branding, and then we go over marketing, different strategies on how to market your brand and market your business. And then it's just really focuses in on engagement and connecting with your leads on another level so that you convert more of them into paying customers, connecting with your paying customers on another level so that you can cater to that individual and foster that relationship to keep them for life.
And if you send a text message through your system, so what do they have to do? They have to text the word. Is it so tell me. You told me and I forgot.
Yeah. So they'll just text the word podcast to the short code 56955, and all that means is where you're going to enter somebody's phone number to text them, you just put 56955, and then in the text message field just hit podcast and send that text message.
Does this work internationally, or is this just in the US?
So this is just for our U.S. followers. I could send out a link in your show notes, perhaps for the international. They won't be able to text in, but I can definitely give them a link to click on.
Yeah, I think the things that you were talking about would be good strategies for anybody that's growing a business. Now, we have 65% of our audience is here in the U.S., 35%. You like how I did the math? That equals 100%, David. See how it works with me? I don't need no mathematician on my show. But 35% of the listeners that want to do this, just click on the show notes, and you'll get we'll make sure that we put a link in the show notes with that. But U.S. listeners, text podcast to 56955, and you'll get David's business growth strategies 3-step program right there. Do you have time for a few more questions? I want to get to this rapid fire Q&A part of the show. I'm very curious how you're going to answer these 5 questions.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, so each question has basically a couple of words to it, and I'm going to give you 20 seconds on the tail end of it. I'll try not to interrupt, but I suck at what I say I'm going to do, so I'm probably going to interrupt you a little bit as we go through here, but here come the 5. All right, so be relatable. What do you suck at?
What do I suck at? I suck at analytics. I'm not great at the numbers game, and that's imperative for a successful business, so I have partners and colleagues that are great at numbers. That's not my thing. Okay,
that's good. Which actually shows terrific, because you're using other people to help you succeed, which is important. If you're a business guy, you need to have other people in your life. You can't do it on your own. Be transparent. How did you pay your bills when you first got going?
Oh man, it was tough. I had a lot of unpaid bills when I first got going, but I was working multiple jobs. I was training clients. I was asking clients for longer commitments and committing to the full package, like a year up front, so I would have money to do some of the things I wanted to do. Yeah, it was real, man.
Okay. Be confident. Thanks by the way, for that answer. That was a very transparent answer. Be confident. What do you do as an entrepreneur that's as good as it gets?
The customer relationship. I'm a relationship guy. I pride myself in that because I genuinely care about my customers. I genuinely care about my colleagues, and I just want to help people succeed.
That's great. And what's really interesting about that, I'll toot your horn for a second. David is primarily in the vertical market in the fitness industry. And when I was approached by the rep that asked me if you'd be interested if you could come on the show, I explained that, well, we don't really have a big audience in the world of fitness. And she said, and she did the same thing that you said to me, which was basically, it's okay. David really wants to help. I think, and that's so great. There are so many people that literally will come on the show, and they, in the pre-game when we talk, all they want to do is talk about their product. And I'm like, stop. We got to hold up on the pushing the product. Let me push your product. My audience wants to hear who you are. And if they like you, just like you said in the relationship game, if they like you, they're going to buy what you like. And if they don't like you, or they see you as a salesperson, they're not going to buy what you have to offer. So very cool. I love that. Let's see. Be humble. What experts did you need to call upon to make shit happen when shit wasn't happening in the beginning?
Some of my team members are great. The founder of our company, Alex Minicucci, has been huge for our success. I've had Mark Pizzell, who is actually one of my former bosses at the Big Box Gym. He gave me some insight on that vertical and really working with trainers specifically. And also one of my mentors and good friends, Todd Durkin, who's one of the top trainers in the country. He has been a huge influence of what I'm doing as well. That's
great. Yeah, having the professionals by your side and having the ones on the bookshelves also is always very good. And be realistic. Where do you think you're going to be in the next 90 days, and how far into the future do you think that you can actually see?
I can get very detailed on that because we have a very
there go your analytics, man.
timeline here. But we're launching some really cool stuff to go after different verticals, not just within the health and wellness space, but other verticals as well. So within 90 days, I would like to be able to target not just fitness professionals, but the end user in the fitness industry. So people who are looking to achieve their health and fitness goals, as well as one vertical outside of the health and wellness space.
That's great. And how far do you think that you can see into if you had to forecast something, how far out do you think you could forecast?
2000, we're about 5 years.
Wow. See, the vision of that is incredible. I wish that I guess I wish I could do it. I really don't know if I want to be able to see that far because so many things change.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I was going to say it might not be perfectly accurate by any means, but we have a plan, a very detailed structure. And we'll see how that goes.
No, I got it for sure. So we will make sure we put all the information about David's company right there in the show notes, and all of his information, including the business growth strategies and the text how do you you know what I'm talking about, how to get it there and how to make sure you get his business growth strategies will be sent to you. Again, if you're out of the country, there'll be a link. If you're in the country, it'll be a text message for you to send out. Nice Guy community, never underestimate the power of nice. David, excellent job on the show today. Thanks for being a part of our community, and thanks for sharing all your great information.
Thanks again, Doug. It was a pleasure being here.
My pleasure. Nice Guy community, again, thanks for being here. Thanks for being in our community and for being so easy to be a host of this amazing show now. 200 and I don't even know, by the time we put this thing on, I think this is episode like 260 or 270 or something like that. So isn't it amazing? You can be a bumbling idiot and still be a host of a show, David. See what happens. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, and in accordance with my court-mandated community service, I'm Steve O'Brien. Only 27 more voiceovers to go, and then maybe they'll let me leave the state. And take this ankle bracelet off.